Tyler with T-Jack Survival. I'm here with Nicole and Jose. Jose has 2 modifications that he has done with the Paiute Dead Fall that we're going to show you. So stay tuned.
Perfecto.
Kabam!
There
All
we
right.
go.
It's like I've done it once.
Little turkey bait.
Turkey should be eaten, not shared.
That shit was rodents.
Oh boy, this guy's not stable at all. Bad spot. Comes the mouse. Trying to get the bait. Yes. Boom. Got a snake.
So we're working on setting a Paiute Dead Fall here. It's basically a trap that works with gravity, a trigger that you can tune, springs the trap, and then the stone falls and basically smashes small animals like small rodent size. This is a generic trap. The name, it's attributed to the Paiute Indians, but it was a very generic trap used all over the Great Basin and farther south. I visited the Tarahumara Indians in the mountains of Chihuahua in Mexico, and they had problems with mice eating their harvest. And I said, "What kind of traps do you set?" And they showed me the Paiute Dead Fall. So then it would be a Tarahumara Dead Fall. This is 1,000 kilometers away. So I think it's a generic deadfall that was fairly widespread. So what I didn't like about it from the beginning was the way it is described. It's difficult to set it, and it's kind of frustrating to set it. So I wanted to deal with how to make it as efficient and hair trigger, but easier to set. So the first modification I made was I always use a forked stick. Always. And in the sense, forked sticks are easy to get. If there's sticks, there's going to be forked sticks. It's not some special item that you need to find. It's as easy to find the forked stick as a straight one, sometimes probably even easier. So, and I shared this with Larry Roberts. He started using him this way, and he was actually quite happy about it. I think he made a video about it. What the fork does is, first of all, it keeps the holding stick in a way where it can't go anywhere because it's in a fork, right? And then the other thing, it gives us lateral stability because this guy cannot rotate. It can only be here in one position. It can't go anywhere. And I found that many times. I was frustrated because the upright stick would rotate on me. And the other modification that I've done recently is I don't use straight sticks on top anymore, because when I've seen that when you use a straight stick, normally it projects out, like if it was straight it would be projecting out here, and I lose an angular advantage to set this guy. The string comes from too far up. It wants to go up this here, the upright stick. What I do is I carve a little notch here anyway for the back of the trigger stick here, and my string is carved into a little notch here so I can adjust the length of the string. This one here, for example, is too long. Instead of playing around with bringing the stick out or anything, I just give it one twist, and then I already, that took up a whole inch and a bit of string, and then I just put it back in the notch. There we go. And I got the length that I want. See how stable this is? Even though we're on very slippery ground. This is dry grass and it's slightly sloped, so it's not ideal setting conditions, but no. This is where we're filming. Our friend George Michaud is graciously letting us use his teepee because it's raining outside. Thank you, George, for that. Deserved credit.
Hello.
So that's basically the main differences right there. If I want to make it even shorter, I can give another wrap. So it's very basically very adjustable, and it makes the setting somewhat easier, or I find quite a bit easier. Here we go. And then the bait stick. We had some jerky here for bait, but it's kind of disintegrating. Whatever you would use, say pinon pine nuts, whatever it is. And I don't know from your angle if you can see it well, but yeah, all you have to do is find a rough spot in the rock. And again, this is not very stable because we are on a slippery bit of grass. It's the last place I would want to set it normally. But yeah, see, this guy wants to go laterally. We need to move it this way. But the fork will always keep it from rotating. At least we got that going. Okay. No. How many people are watching this? It's difficult. That means it's lots of people watching. There. That's it. And it's basically as hair trigger as you want to make it. The hair trigger is depending on how much surface you're contacting here and how far away it is from slipping, and how much surface the tip is contacting on the rock and how far away that's from slipping. So I'll trip it once more so you see what little pressure is needed to trip it actually. I mean, barely touched it. Down it goes. The first modification for the Paiute from the classical sources was done by Jim Riggs, somewhere I think in the 90s. And he observed that some students, they would put the upright stick, they used straight sticks then, and they would put the upright stick in a way where sometimes it got stuck under the rock and not let it trip. So that was the first big modification, to always make sure that it's outside so the rock falls. Look, it could even catch here, look at that. And it didn't trip it. So the upright is always outside. But that'll make it work, and that's what you see in all manuals and whatnot. Most people are doing it that way, but with just these two small modifications, I find that it just becomes so much easier. And again, a bent stick, a forked stick, they're as easy to find, if not more, than two straight ones, really. So it's not like, I don't like complicated stuff. I don't like complicating traps or triggers or anything really. I like simple old-time skills, and this could be one example of that.
Perfect.
And I think another just important thing to point out, just making sure your bait stick is really, really sharp.
Yeah.
You want a sharp bait stick because it's going to stick in that rock and find a little groove easier, and then it's just going to pop right out. And then the other thing, when you have your fork stick, make sure you don't have a knot. If you have a knot, make sure, like Jose has done, of course, the knot's on the outside. So when it falls, it's not going to catch on anything. It's going to go on this side and straight down.
That'll be a free fall.
And this trap, we taught a class last week, a skills class for a week out at my property in Oregon, and all the students were able to make their own Paiute Dead Fall and set the trap, even beginners. So it's worked. His modifications work really, really well. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It's very clever. So is this So if this has been valuable to you, please hit the subscribe button, and thank you from TJack Survival.